Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Big Boys Podcast, episode 3. And we are here with Mr. Mod Pod himself, Ahmad T. Coffee. How you doing, bro?
Yo, I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How's your summer going?
So far, so good. Just working, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, just playing basketball, trying to relax before I have to go into senior year. So
All right. You got a job or anything like that?
I'm looking right now, bro. I got so many applications rejected. Like today, bro, I got a Chick-fil-A application rejected. I'm not even gonna cap. So
Hey, you
I
rejected
try,
from
I try,
Chick-fil-A, bro.
huh?
Hey, you get rejected from Chick-fil-A. That has to be like one of the easiest jobs to get into.
Oh, I'm telling you, these bulls was rejecting me. I have so many applications rejected. It's bad, but I don't know. My resume look good, so I don't know. But getting a job is not as easy as it looks. But I'm not even gonna lie. So, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I have two more applications that I have already applied to. So hopefully, I get one of those sooner or later.
yeah. Me and my friends right now, we all trying to like get jobs, and it's kind of hard because like
Yeah.
only thing we found is like we can apply for McDonald's because all the places at the mall don't hire until like 16, 18. My dog
Oh
barking
yeah, you're
for
gonna
some
be
reason.
older. That's another thing. Like a lot of the jobs that I'm applying to, like, because right now I'm 17. Some of those jobs, if you want to get paid at least a decent wage or whatever, you have to be at least 18 for like one of the more notable jobs. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Not much you can do about it though. So
Yeah. Cause like some of my friends, I got friends from the football team. They work at the mall, and I kept
mm,
asking them like, "Yo, like how old you got to be?" And then some say 16, some say like 17 or 18. So it's like the minimum age I think is 16 to work.
yeah, 16. Um, it does help though if you have like connections too. Like a lot of my friends, they have connections and they can just get a job just like that. Like my one friend Amran, I mean, it's his uncle's business. I think he does like electrical or plumbing, something like that. He gets paid a good amount too. So but it's just a job that's right there already set for him. So it's just one of those easier things if you have connections.
Yeah, connections is something I got too. Cause like my mom has like a bunch of connections with people who own restaurants and stuff, and she's trying to get me a job at my auntie place in Sicklerville because she got a restaurant there.
Right, yeah. Those connections definitely help. Like I think that goes with a lot of things, just not even just the job, just a lot of things in general. So
Yeah. It really does. All right, well, enough talk. Let's get into the interview because this is what
all
it's
right.
about. All right, so first of all, this is like probably a frequently asked question for you, even though I already know the answer. But first question I'm gonna ask is, how come you don't listen to music, and how are you like so obedient and true to your religion?
So from the music part, so it's not like I've never listened to music. It was I think Ramadan of 2024 or yeah, Ramadan of 2024 is when I quit listening to music because there was a lot of things about Islam that I just didn't know. And in the religion, it's far or like it's mandatory that you learn about the religion yourself because you can't have everything just taught to you. You have to go out and learn by yourself. So that was when I kind of started learning about the religion myself and trying to figure out what I can do and what I can't do. And music was one of the things that like apparently you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to listen to. And I had no clue why. But once I started doing research, it made more sense because music and the Quran they're trying to get into your heart, right? And you can't have them both mixed. They both can't be in your heart and your soul at the same time. So it's one or the other. And the Quran is a better influence by far because then when you don't listen to music, at least for me, this is my experience and other people that I've talked to as well. When you don't listen to music, when you stray away from music and you listen to the Quran more, you tend to you tend to think a little bit differently. Your actions tend to be different as well. Like when I was listening to music, but I was saying any word or anything, any phrase, any sentence, whatever the case may be. I was just saying anything. But like ever since I stopped listening to music, it hasn't been the case. Like I've been a lot more like I guess laid back, and I've been thinking about a lot more about what I say and stuff like that. So um, and also it seems that music tends to make people do certain things that they wouldn't do otherwise. Like I was with my homeboy the other day, and there's this girl he wanted to talk to. Like we were trying to tell him to go talk to the girl because he I don't know he was like real nervous, right? But I don't know what it is. He started listening to music, and then after that, he just went up to go talk to the girl, but she wasn't there. She had dipped, but he went and did that. But it's just one of those things. Like I feel like music has like certain impulses on people that aren't good in the way. That's an example that I just kind of thought of, but there are some times where I feel like music just isn't good for a person just to be listening to all the time. Like, why are people listening to stuff about sex, drugs, money, and killing at 7 a.m. in the morning walk into school. Like that to me, I don't know. That's a little odd to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it don't make no sense. And then for the religion, um, I think the religion I've gotten more on my dean or closer to the religion as I've gotten older. So just by maturing and obviously by learning, you have to learn if you want to become closer with the religion and more on your dean. So I think that's kind of helped me. um but it's also not the easiest thing in the world because you have to kind of be an outlier in a way because you can't be like everybody else where it's like, well, one of those things is like listening to music. Quite literally everybody listens to music around me, and there are even people that try to convince me to listen to music even though I tell them I don't listen to music and stuff like that. So it's one of those things. And then another thing is like, so in Islam, you're not supposed to touch someone of the opposite gender if they're not related to you. Um, so it's like, say for example, some girl wanted to give me like a fist bump or wanted to dap me up or a handshake, whatever the case may be. That's something I can't do. And initially it was a little bit difficult to understand and a little bit, and it's really awkward. Every single time I decline like someone's handshake, like this happened recently as well. I have to decline some woman's handshake because I obviously cannot give her a handshake. But it's always awkward, and I haven't gotten past that feeling yet of like that awkward like phase. So it's always weird trying to explain it to a person that doesn't understand it. So, but it goes back to being just an outlier, and you kind of have to be different in a way if you're going to be Muslim, if you're going to try to follow the path of the Deen and stay strict with the religion.
yeah. Because like temptation is all around, especially in Christianity too. Because like I'm
Right.
Christian and all, and like temptation is all around. I can't like break all the commandments, and like there's just a lot of things I gotta like be on point with that I can't really like stay on point with because like
Right. Yeah.
temptation is all around me.
And it's like it's even worse now, I feel like, compared to like the previous generations, because now you have social media.
Yeah,
I know you hear that. I know you hear that. Nah, but it's definitely worse now than it was in previous generations because you have social media and it's just promoting all the stuff that you're trying to get away from. And it's like the algorithm, it seems as though it's made so that it promotes all the stuff that you don't want to see in a way.
yeah. They just think how the music kind of promotes it too, because they promote all the stuff that like kids, like young children and teenagers, like they gotta like stay away from to be on the right track in life. Like, let's
Mm,
take King Von for example, because he just rapped about like constantly like all the murders he committed and being like one of
right.
rap's first serial killers. I'm like, bro. But yeah, that's actually kind of true for real. But another question I got for you is like, when did you like want to start playing basketball? Because I know basketball is like a big part of like your life.
For basketball, it was weird because I never touched a basketball until like seventh or eighth grade because I've always been playing like so when I was in Pennsylvania when I lived there before I moved to Jersey in 2020, I used to swim and I used to play soccer. Those are my two things um that I like to do. Um so me playing basketball was kind of like out of the blue. I mean, the main reason I started playing basketball was to stay in shape for track. That following sports season. So I just did basketball to stay in shape. I didn't really like care for it or anything like that. 'Cause I started playing, I think, seventh grade during that COVID year. So it was weird, and it was so weird because I was completely out of position. I was around like I don't know, seventh grade, maybe like 5'3", 5'4", maybe something like that. And then I'm playing like a big man position. I'm playing power forward center, and in a 5-man roster, mind you. So it was weird. And then I started taking it seriously freshman year though, because I played again in eighth grade for the same reason to stay in shape for track. Except I didn't do track in eighth grade because I kind of thought about it, I was like it's kind of boring. Like I was good at it, but I just didn't find it that interesting to be honest with you. So going into freshman year is when I started taking it serious. But it was weird because I was out of position because I had played center the year before. I had played power forward center uh, when I started playing basketball, but since I'm not that tall, so I need to play guard now. I have to switch my position, and it was a whole struggle because it was so weird trying to do that in like a couple of months because I didn't understand how a guard is supposed to play and all that. So, but nah, basketball is something I do like for sure. I love basketball for sure. Right now going to senior year, trying to start on the team for sure, trying to do all that kind of stuff. So trying to keep everybody level headed trying to win something this year as well. We have a lot of goals and aspirations for the team as well. So, but I think that's where basketball for me comes from. It kind of came out of the blue, especially when I moved to Jersey. I just started playing out of nowhere, especially just to stay in shape. But that was the initial goal of it. But now it's like something I only do. I only play basketball. I don't do any other sports now. Um, and I'm just trying to like focus on that specifically, trying to get somewhere with that.
Yeah, that's chill, bro. I know for me, like when I first started for sports, I like tried out baseball and basketball, but then I didn't like that, and so my dad signed me up for football, and I was like scared, but then I had turned out liking it, and I played it for like 7 years straight. This will be my seventh, like right now, because football season's about to start. All right, but yeah, another question I got is like, wait, I gotta edit that part out. All right,
You good?
another question I got is like, how do you manage your time like with school and sports? Like, how do you balance that out?
See, that's the thing. Like, that's always been a little bit of a struggle, for me because it's not easy doing that. And then also trying to keep up with your daily because on the Muslim you have 5 daily prayers, so you have to keep up with that as well. Um, but what I'll do is sometimes I'll wake up early, I'll stretch in the morning, then I'll do my school stuff, and I'll try to do my homework while in school if possible, or during class if possible. Excuse me. So I'll try to do all of that to get it out of the way. But usually it doesn't all get done because there's not enough time to complete all the homework and whatever you got to do. I think there's a reason why teachers give you all that work so you actually do it at home. Um, but I try to do as much work as I can in school, and then I'll finish the rest after my basketball practice or after a game. Or if we have time before a game, I'll see if I can finish that schoolwork if possible. Um, that's kind of how I manage that time. Uh, but it's not easy at all for sure because especially during the basketball season, during at least this past year, this it was only this past junior year that I've had a real tough time with balancing everything because there's so much work during junior year for some reason, and then you also have the basketball season, and basketball takes up a lot of time on top of the actual regular school day. So I'm not sleeping that much during the basketball season. I might be averaging anywhere from 5 to 6 hours per night of sleep during the season. Like it was bad because there's so much schoolwork I have to finish with all my classes, and I'm not taking any like easy classes. I'm taking a lot of harder classes like honors and college classes. So but balancing it, you have to just find your own thing. Like it all depends on each person, because you have to balance actual school, your school work outside of school, your sport with the games, and then also you have to manage your mind and your body. For me, my biggest problem was my body. Like it started breaking down a little bit, so I had to like chill out, and I have to also carve out time to stretch, take care of my body, ice, put heat, whatever the case may be. So, but there's a lot of things you got to think about when trying to be a student athlete and playing a sport.
Yeah, that's actually like kind of inspiring to hear. Cause like I can't really like balance my time out really well. Cause like I struggle in like math and stuff, and I usually have to get like extra help for that. But I can't really do that because football is like right after school, so I always gotta like go to practice, and I'm always up late doing homework and stuff.
Like for math, that's the thing. I had a problem with calculus this year. So I mean, I tried my best in calculus. It's just that class. Oh my god, I cannot do calculus, bro. But nah, I would go on YouTube. Like sometimes I'll wake up like early in the morning to study. I wake up at like 5:30 a.m. and like study. I'll go on Khan Academy or whatever. There's another YouTube channel that helps with math, and I'll try to like apply that to whatever I'm learning. I'll do all that kind of stuff and hope for the best and try to learn as well. I'll do that during the week. Wake up early and do that because I feel like I retain a lot of information better if I study the night before and in the morning and not throughout the week. So it just those two times I feel like I retain the most information and I can actually use it and apply it. That works for me. For you, it might be different. You might have to use multiple days for the information, or you could be like me and use those two specific times to retain that information and actually apply it. But it's just a matter of finding like what works for you because each individual has something different. So that's just my take on that. But
Yeah. All right, another question I got is, in your opinion, what do you think was the hardest year for you in high school?
oh, this year, junior year, bro. I'm never gonna lie. Like I used to think it was cap, but It's horrible. I ain't gonna lie. You're not gonna like junior year. It's just a whole bunch of it's a lot of schoolwork. It's a lot of work, and a lot of it is it's not important as well. Like it's just a lot, it's just work that you have to do because they give it to you, but it's just not important. But your math class is probably going to be important depending on what you're taking. If you're in engineering, that the math is going to be important. If you take, I don't recommend taking Spanish three if you go to if you know you're going to go to a college, and that college isn't going to need Spanish three. Don't take the class. Don't because there's some people who do that and just take the class just for no reason, and it's just no point. I'm telling you, do not take the Spanish three if you don't have to. Like for me, I don't think I have to take Spanish three, but I took Spanish three, and it's kind of annoying because I think I have to add an extra class to my senior year now because I think it was financial literacy I missed because I took Spanish three instead. And Spanish three, like the teacher's cool, I just cannot. It's just a lot of work, and a lot of the work I feel like it's unnecessary. Like there's this thing called study Spanish. I hate that. I hate that so much. I just stopped doing them. I'm not even gonna lie because I've always forgot and I just gave up and it was a pointless assignment to be honest. But there are certain classes you have to just pan out your schedule well. You have to pan out your schedule well. Make sure you take only the classes that you need and don't take the classes that you want. Take the classes that you need so you can just get it done and over with. You don't want to take any of the extra classes. Like I wanted to take Spanish three, but I didn't have to. But it was just a waste of time. It was extra stressful. And then make sure you put your classes properly because I took calculus and Spanish in the same semester this past year and it was a no-go because there was so much extra work that it was really difficult to keep up with. That's why it was hard for me to like balance my school with basketball during the basketball season because it was so difficult. Because sometimes I'm sitting here thinking because for some reason all the tests were on the same day, so I'm sitting here thinking I'm gonna have to sacrifice a subject. Like I have to either study for Spanish or calculus. Like, and that's not how it should be. But that's what I'm saying. As a student athlete, you got to be able to like manage it. So that's what I'm saying. Like a heads up, especially if y'all watching too who are going into junior year, mess with your schedule so that it becomes easier for you. Don't make it difficult for yourself.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like just like you for real, because like this year I had math and bio, like my two worst classes in the first semester during football season. So like I
Yeah,
could never like study, and like I had two tests on the same day, and I was like, and I was doing horrible in both classes. So I was like, I don't know what I'm
yeah.
not
That's
doing.
that's how it'd be like. I mean, I was fine in Spanish. Like, I didn't really have to study crazy for that. But there were some times in Spanish where I was like struggling. Like, I didn't understand because there's certain things in Spanish that are too similar, and I'm just like, okay, you got it, bro. Like, I just be giving up sometimes, bro. I can't lie.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm trying to like get all my hard classes in the second semester when football ain't around, so I'll have all the time in the world to do that.
Yeah, it's smarter like that because like a sport like football or like track, they're in two completely different semesters. You have football in the fall, and it's not gonna leak into the second semester like a winter sport. Because that's the thing about winter sports. That's the only thing I don't like is that they leak between two semesters. Like half of it is in the first semester and the half of it is in the second semester. So you have to figure things out as you go. But for football, use that to your advantage because it's only in one semester. Put all your hard classes in the second semester.
Yeah. That's what I decided to do. Because like I'm not
It's
trying to like
smarter that way for
face all
sure.
that heartache. Yeah. All right. Another question. This is a question I've been wanting to ask you for a long time, ever since I met you. What made you want to start your podcast? Like, what inspired you to do that?
Um, so one of my uncles, my uncle Mahib, he actually had a podcast. I think it's still up. He used to go around interviewing rappers and stuff like that, like real popular rappers. I think he got Playboy Cardi on one of his podcasts or something like that.
Hmm.
Like he got a lot of notable artists on his podcast. Um, but I don't remember the last time he actually did one because I think he stopped and then he started working around places like I think his most recent job was at SpaceX. So kind of him just like influencing me a little bit because he had that YouTube channel, doing the podcast and all that. That's kind of where it started from. Um, I know I did try it at some point. I think it was during eighth grade is when I tried to do a podcast, but it was too inconsistent and I kind of got bored of it. So and there was no structure at all. There was just random episodes or anything like that. So and there was no connections either. I had no connections. I didn't know anybody, so it just wouldn't have worked out in the long run at that moment in time. So I just kind of stopped doing that and then I picked it up again going into junior year. I think it was September going into junior year is when I started uploading the podcast. Because that was just myself. It was just me, just giving my thoughts on certain ideas. And then for season two is when I started having guests, especially a lot of names that people wanted on the podcast for some reason. Some of them I thought were odd. I'll be completely honest with you. With that people were telling me that, oh yeah, so and so wants to be on the podcast, and they were kind of popular in terms of voting to be on the podcast. So some of those were odd, some of those made a lot of sense. But now for season three, I know what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna have people that are actually gonna draw in viewers rather than just having anybody on there. Unless they want to have their message come out. Like I had one friend, he wanted to have his message out there, and his thoughts and ideas, which I thought was really cool. Because it could definitely help some people in the long run and in the future. So that's kind of how I want to structure it from now on. But that's kind of how I got into the podcast. I'm still trying to do it right now. Right now I'm on a hiatus because it's summer. I'm taking a little break. I'm just trying to figure my schedules out, and then once I get that down, then I'm gonna start doing more interviews and podcasts for season three as of right now.
Yeah. But first, let's like take Andrew for example. Like he's a popular guy that would like people
Yeah,
want to see on your podcast because he's Notre Dame commit, baseball
right.
player, varsity, all that. Yeah, him and Alex are like two people you'd want to like interview.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I was supposed to interview Alex as well for season two, but the day we were supposed to do the podcast, he got into a car crash, bro.
Oh, and that was the day you were supposed to do that.
Yeah, man, that was man. He didn't get hurt or nothing, so I started laughing at him. But like, bro, I'm like, bro, how does that happen on the day of the podcast date? Like, I don't know. That was interesting to me, to be honest. But
Yeah, because
stuff
Alex was
happens,
yeah,
man.
yeah, because Alex was in my bio class, and then like his homie Landon had told me that he got into a car crash, and that's why he wasn't there. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. So, but what made you want to start a podcast?
oh, me, I was low key inspired by you for real, because like I saw
Really?
you doing your thing, and I thought I could like do the same thing, because I was like into journalism too. So I thought I
Mm,
could practice my journalism skills on this podcast, like get
that's
better.
nice. Appreciate you, man. Wait, hold on. So do you want to do journalism in college?
Well, yeah, I want to get my degree in communications and journalism so I can become like a sports analyst for like NBC or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That can definitely it's definitely possible. So wait, what's your program at the school? Did you choose engineering?
No, I chose advanced manufacturing. That's the newest
Oh,
program.
okay.
So I don't even know what
All
I'm
right,
gonna
yeah.
do junior and senior year, but probably working still.
Got you. All right. I was wondering because if you wanted to do journalism, maybe I feel like there's another program that could have been more helpful. I'm not sure though, to be completely honest. But anything can really change because I thought I was gonna be an engineer going into GCIT. Man, I'm telling you right now, I'm not touching engineering in college. I'm telling you right now. Even senior year, I'm not touching engineering, bro. I promise you, I'm not doing that. Like, I hate engineering, bro. I can't. It's too much math. I can't do that. And then
Yeah,
3D modeling, don't get me started on that.
all my
Huh?
freshman friends say that it's like really kind of hard, but the projects are always like fun. But
The projects are fun, but so like freshman year engineering wasn't hard. It was sophomore and junior year that cooked me. Especially this past year, junior year that cooked me. I can't do that, bro. I can't do that for another like for the rest of my life. I just can't.
I thought sophomore year was the hardest year, but apparently junior year is, according to
No,
some
junior
people.
year is definitely like see. I thought the same thing too. I thought sophomore year was gonna be my hardest year. Junior year is gonna be your hardest year, bro. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the in terms of like schoolwork and just school in general. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the hardest year.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, bro.
yeah. But wait, if you ain't gonna do engineering, what are you gonna do like in college in senior year?
Right now my goal for senior year, I'm still in the engineering program, but for seniors, you don't have to take your program class. You don't have to do that, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not going to do any engineering for my senior year, hopefully. Um, but in college, the goal is to go for sports management, just learning about that and seeing what I can seeing what I can do from there.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be someone to like be in business and not like engineering or something.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, it just depends on how I don't know because the business program at the school they don't do anything. I mean, you can ask them kids; they'll tell you they don't do anything. Like
Yeah, like I have a
they
bunch of
just sit
homeboys
there.
in that class. They said they don't do anything, and the teacher like
That's what I'm.
sucks.
Yep. They just sit there. They just sit there. They don't do anything. The teacher be bugging, and they go on irrelevant field trips that have nothing to do with education. It's the funniest thing. It's like the joke program, but it's a cool program. I wish I was in that program, bro. I could sit there and like not have like a free period every day. Like that's tough. Like what?
Yeah, like I can pass no free period, bro. Like come on now.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's the
easy to
fact I
come.
never get a free period because like Mr. Oz be on all of our asses now.
Yeah, nah, engineering is not a free period unless you get your stuff done, but it's not it's not it, bro. I'm telling you.
Even if we get our stuff done, Mr. Haas he keeps making us do work and more work and more work. I'm
It's
like,
kind of like Mr.
bro,
Kahan. You know Mr. Kahan?
yeah,
Like he not the math teacher, the engineering teacher.
well, yeah, I know both.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, nah, he gives out a lot of work, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like there are some times where he'll give out all this work, and then I think he'll realize, oh yeah, I'm giving him too much work, and then he'll extend the due date, or he'll just be like only complete like half of each assignment so that you can get it in on time. Like it'll be something crazy like that. He did that like middle of the semester. Like yo, thank God, because I'm not gonna lie. If he didn't start doing that, I would have failed that class like terribly.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the other question. Like in school, how do you like handle yourself mentally? Like, how do you not get so overwhelmed with like work? How do you like keep like your emotions at like bay and not like go
See, I
crazy
don't.
or crash
That's just
out?
how. That's how I present myself, bro. Sometimes I be tweaking, bro. I'm never gonna lie. Yeah, I be tweaking. I'm not even gonna lie. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, this is too much stuff. Like the class that made me like trip out the most was calculus. I'm telling you, that class. Oh my God, I don't know what it was, but I studied so much for that class. I just could not get a good grade in that class at all. Like the only stuff I was doing decent on was a delta math, but that's a delta math, so like that's not really helping me that much. But dog, that class, man, I used to stress out so much. But other than that, like I didn't like trip out or anything like that. I wasn't like going crazy about any of my other classes. Like, I mean, a lot of it, a lot something that helped me a lot was organization. Just trying to stay as organized as possible with all of my classes. Because if I'm not organized and with certain things, they're gonna fall apart, and it's just gonna be bad. Um, excuse me. Another thing is this is something that I feel like is underrated having a clean space. Like as I've gotten older, I realize having a clean space makes it so that like I'm more disciplined, I'm more motivated, and I'm able to just focus on whatever I have to do, and I can actually get it done without any other distractions. Because I feel like whenever like a space is like messy or there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that doesn't really make sense around me, then it kind of affects me a little bit. So just having that clean space clears my mind and I can actually do and focus whatever I'm trying to do or work on.
Yeah, I know my dad always told me he said like, keep like clean your room and clean like your workspace so you can have a clear mind and focus on whatever you need to
Yeah,
do.
my mom used to tell me that all the time, like when I was like 13, 14. I used to think she was capping until I started doing it like around that time. And then I was like, yeah, this actually works. Like it's a real thing.
All right, so another question is how do you stay away from like negative people during school, in and out of school, and like despite the temptation and all that.
To be honest, because I don't consider myself a negative person per se, but I will if the thing is that whatever's on my mind for the most part, not all the time, but for the most part, I'm gonna say it. So like if someone like does something stupid, like I'm gonna tell them that they're doing something stupid. Like I'm also kind of truthful, and people see that as disrespectful. But going back to your question, staying away from toxic people, like for me, it's not so much as I stay away from them. I kind of just ignore it because like freshman and sophomore year, I used to let it get to me a little bit, but going into junior year, especially now, especially the summer before junior year, I kind of just learned how to just ignore it and take everything with a grain of salt because some people like to say a lot of things and it doesn't really mean much to be honest. Like you can hear a whole bunch, but it's not gonna like it shouldn't really affect you, and you'll learn that a lot of people are like talk with a lot of fluff or they just talk a lot and they have a big mouth and they can't back up anything that they say, or they're just saying something just to get to you a little bit, or just to mess with you. So it's not really, there's no really like escaping that, especially at our school. Like you just have those are the people that just come in. Those are the people that just come in and then they hang out with the wrong people, and then the group grows with negativity. There's not much you can really do about it. You can just all you can do is really hang out with your close friends, or you can just like kind of isolate yourself a little bit or kind of block out whatever is going on around you. That's really the main thing that you can do. There's nothing else you can really do. You can't escape it unless you transfer, but you're gonna have those kind of things everywhere. So
Yeah, like for me in school right now, I just try to keep with my close friends and nobody else. I just keep my mouth shut mostly, but
that's
mostly
my thing. because
Huh?
I don't really like. I don't. I mean, I'm not someone that's gonna just be like antisocial. Like I like to talk to people and all that. I like to get to know people, understand them. But if there's certain people that I just like, it's I've always been like that. I just know who I can talk to. I just know who I'm gonna like or who I'm not gonna like, and I've been right every time. Like sometimes I can look at someone and I can like I don't know, I can just like feel their energy almost, and I can like I can be like I don't like you. I don't know why, but I don't like you. I'm gonna try to talk to them still sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't end up well for both of us. So I just stay away from those kind of people. And then based on what they do in their past as well, I also make a assumption based off that as well. I'm not saying judge a book by its cover, but just understand what you're dealing with and the facts that you have.
Yeah. All right. So another question to probably be the last. What are your future aims? What are your future goals? Where do you see yourself in the future?
In the future, I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't have an exact set goal of stuff. I do know I want to go to community college for at least 2 years to save money and then go to university after that. Um, the goal is to play basketball in college, so that's something I'm gonna try to do, consistently try to do. Um, Going for sports management. Definitely try to get out of South Jersey though. I don't want to be in the area, to be honest. I don't really like the area. My parents be telling me I'm tripping for trying to get out of South Jersey, especially especially in today's world where everything costs a lot. But I need to figure something out because I do not like South Jersey. I promise you, I don't. Like I'll go up north, or I'll go to Philly or something, but I cannot stay here, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
What did you
they be
want to
telling
them
me I'm
Philly
tripping.
motherfucker?
Yeah, yo, hey, Philly Muslims are a different breed. I'm gonna leave them there. I'm not gonna comment on that. But I don't know. Like, I'll go like Pennsylvania or something, but I just cannot stay in South Jersey though. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
gonna lie. But yeah, that's the goal. Just trying to get out, explore, be by myself, just try to do my own thing. But those are the future things off the top of my head, to be honest. What about
yeah,
you though?
yeah. For me, my future goals. To put it short, go to I have like three routes I could literally take. I could go to college for engineering or something, go or journalism. I could get scholarships for sports, and or I could just like I guess work, not go to college. But I don't know.
All right, yeah. I mean, it really just depends on you. I mean, because this is something my family like they want everybody to go to college, but my thing is that especially now, college just is not for everybody. Not you can't have everybody in a family go to college. In the long term, I don't see it working out for financial reasons, and also just because it seems as though college is slowly becoming less and less important to get a higher degree kind of job. It just seems like that. Um, there was a study that went out. It said that a lot, like a good, I don't know the exact number, but a good amount of Harvard students were unemployed because they cannot get a job. Keep in mind, these are kids that spent all this money, maybe got a scholarship or whatever, to go to one of the best schools in the country, or maybe one of the best schools in the world in Harvard, and they can't get a job.
Crazy.
That shouldn't line up and doesn't make any sense. That just shows right there that it's slowly becoming unimportant. I'm not saying like I'm saying like this. If you don't need to go to college, in my opinion, if you're gonna do something like welding or plumbing like that, you just don't need college for that. That's something you're taught. You're either good at it or you're not, and you should go to college if you're trying to play a sport and you're trying to get noticed and you're trying to do something with that, or if you're going to something that's more uh, like technical, like engineering or computer science, like you need college for that because it teaches you all the extra stuff that goes into it, like Boolean geometry. I would have no clue what Boolean geometry was if I didn't do the engineering program at the school, but I do now. But the thing is that you don't learn it in high school. You learn that in college. So and it's kind of hard to teach that to yourself. I try to do it. I just don't understand any of that. So that's something you have to do in college. I think it just depends on the career path that you want. It just depends if you're gonna do like like I said, plumbing or carpentry or welding. You don't really need college, but if you're gonna do like engineering, computer science, go to college because you need college to understand whatever you're gonna be able to do, whatever you want to do in the future.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up today's episode. Appreciate you, Ahmad, for coming on, bro.
No
We
problem, man. Thank you
appreciate
for
it,
having
bro.
me on.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. All right, so this is episode 3 of the Big Bites Podcast. I'm Tobias Corbin. This is the Mod Coffee. Go subscribe to the Mod Coffee Podcast. And like, subscribe, comment on this video on the Big Bias Podcast. You know it. Gonna be back with another episode probably next week, so stay tuned. Appreciate y'all.